Hi, hello everybody. Today is 13th of April. Wow. And we are telling the pastry right now. This pastry has changed a lot of people's life, especially to why something happened to our life and how we can quickly remember back after learning in such a way. So are you ready? Let's get started, okay? What is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there is a dog inside the room. We're gonna wave this in front of the dog or just the dog, Jake. The dog probably was the like go choose it, right? Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, but for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct and the dog and the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson, both are correct. Now let's imagine that there is a table in front of me, so I'm going to put this thing on the table. And then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become then? It is still a pen or a chewing toy. It becomes neither a pen nor a chewing toy, right? So the ancient wisdom called this one almost as the emptiness. So, and the emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like you should worship the emptiness into space, and was able to build business with a revenue $250 million a year. It is also able to help several refugees. So why is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? Let's go back to the parachute, okay? Let's think calling on the table when there's no human, no dog, nothing to interact with. We come back to truth something called the emptiness. So the emptiness is not darkness, it's not nothingness, it's not no feeling, no thinking. The emptiness is just us, so we doesn't interact with anyone. And each and every one of us, whether we are human, animal, plant or objects, we all have the emptiness. But then in reality, we all interact with someone or something like that. So we have the potential to become anything or anybody depending on who or is looking at us at that very moment. So what does this mean? So come back to the pantry, okay? This thing currently on the table. And then you see almost nothing when there's no human or no dog, right? But as soon as I go back into the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog comes back to the room and the dog look at that, this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, we both look at this at the very same time, and this thing become them. Or become two things. A pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing, right? When it doesn't interact with anyone, it becomes almost nothing. But then from almost nothing, when they come in, it's become a pen. When the dog comes in, it's become a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come to the room at the very same time, then just one simple thing from almost nothing now become two things, a pen and a chewing toy simultaneously, right? So that is the beauty of the emptiness and the potential. That is also our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we will have this potential. Now I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is the pen itself and the drawer, anything in this entire universe will have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does it also see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from the mind and everything is actually coming from the certain side of mind. So that is our second, our third lesson, and it's actually coming from our mind. Now we all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to believe this will become true. Okay, so please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Very nice. It's still a pen. So what if my mind offers me to see this as a pen, but not a diamond? Now I see it inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls common. When we see something, the certain side of my path will open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted into our mind. So who planted those seed into our mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways: by our word, by our actions, by our thoughts, especially to other people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have a pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'm so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I do this, the palm open up and both me and my friend will see it and start leaving mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the search of the pen started being planted into my mind. And I pop up, open up, and cover this and made a seed for what had been planted only into our mind. And this is how a pen become a pen, or anything surround us become part of who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we will know 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both the corrupt, so we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. The second lesson is allow the emptiness without have limitless potential. So trust your potential, trust the potential of everyone and everything around you, trust the potential for everything to you. And the third lesson is everything is actually dependent on the symptoms around me. So be one hundred percent responsible to whatever happened to it. Don't blame anyone because you aren't. You are the only one who can plan the set into your mind. And lesson number 4 is how to be your manifesto dream life in a very certain way. So first, we have to know what we truly want in our dream life, right? Using the emptiness and the potential. And then second, we start planting those seeds in our world, direction, our thoughts, and our people. So for action, if we hold on to it, so if we want to have the spirit, then when we use our word and action, our thoughts, in other people to be more prosperous. If we want to have wisdom, then using our word and action, our thoughts, helping our people to be more, to be wiser. And just like that, whatever you are, making sure you use your word, your action, your thoughts for other people. And the lesson that I want to share with you all today is that, when I was telling the story, actually not when, but then recently I've been thinking, with the same lesson number 4, but Andrew and we have different kind of interpretation. It's the same meaning, but we interpret it differently. So that's the reason why the way we tell is differently. And of course, is it keeps different institutions, different thinking constructed into the same lesson. And I think that is something really, so thank you. So I think that it's the same. Everything is this really reflected in me. One saying is that whatever happened to you is only 10% of it is the reality, and 90% of this is how you react to it or how you interpret it. And I think that is a very, very good lesson to think about for the beginning of the week. So thank you everyone for listening to me today. Thank you everyone for coming with me in the 2000-day journey. And if I may share with you the pen story of my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my Dutch family, to my friends, to my co-workers, to my neighbors, to my clients, or to any living things in this world and in other words with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.